All right, so I had to take a break there for a second before I got into this line because I know I was going so fast with this whole thing. I'm exhausted. I've been shooting all day. No excuse. But okay, so now this part of the lick is the really cool part. Again, he goes. And then when he bends that note on the B string, 20th fret, he lets it sit for a second. Then he pulls it down and he pulls off from the 20 to the 17 on the B string. And then he goes right back to that 20th fret and bends it up. So it's this little... Then he does this little sequence of the 17 to 19 back to the 17 on the E string. So you have... Then you go from the 20 to 17 on the B string. So it's... And now he does a cool thing where he bends that G string 19th fret up a whole step. Then he does a pivot off the 17, 19, back to 17 on the B string. To the 17 and the 19 and the 16 on the G string. So the whole thing is. Then he just runs down. He goes down to that D string on the 17th or the 19th. I'll keep saying 17. It's the 19th fret. Then he rolls back over on the G string, the 19th fret. I didn't call it 17. And then you go down to the 16th fret on the G string. So you have... And then you just keep walking down from the 1917 on the D string and 1917 on the A string. And then 1917 again back up on the D string. So you have... And then he does this little pentatonic thing from the 5, 7, 5 hammer on the D string down to the 7th fret. Sorry, on the A string. Then he does 5, 7, slide up to 9 on the D string. Then he does the same pattern, but this time on the 9 and 7 fret on the D and G string. So yeah. Then he just goes from the 9th fret of the G string, slide up to the 12th fret of the G string. Then 10, 12, B string, slide up to 15th fret on the B string. And the 12, 15 on the E string. So you have... And it speeds up once he starts sliding from that 9th fret to the 12th fret on the G string. So you have... Now he's just messing around with the 14th and 15th fret on the E string. So you have... But before he does that little trill of 14, 15, he goes to the 14th fret of the G string. Back to the 15th fret of the E string. So you have... Then when he goes back down to that 14th fret of the G string, he plays the 15th fret of the B string, and then the 13th fret of the B string, and he bends that up a whole step. And that's where he gets into the melody. But the coolest part about this whole thing, I mean, I think the whole thing's cool. It's such a well put together solo. You have so many cool melodic things happening, but it's that fast little pentatonic thing. And it's those two bends that make it sound really slick. You just get that yump bump, like this little sweeping effect in between each note. So try that when you do any of your pentatonic stuff. Just do E minor pentatonic here, right? And just just mess with throwing in bends in between the phrases that you're playing. That wasn't a great example or anything, but another thing to do too is when I first transcribed this idea, when I went and I thought he was actually going like I thought he was switching positions and doing it, and that's a cool thing to do too, because when I first learned it that way, it felt a little more comfortable doing it, except that switch was a little too fast. But experiment with a bunch of different ways to play this, and he does this with all alternate picking, and his alternate picking is much cleaner than mine, but it's just a really, really cool little lick. Hope you guys like that. Sorry it was so quick and fast and everything. I'm so hyped up from recording all day. My mind's going a mile a minute. But stick around. We got a whole bunch more stuff, a whole bunch more free ideas and licks that are coming up on YouTube too, and not just these lesson packages and things that we have for sale. But head over to GuitarBreakdown.com, check out what we have going on there, check the description below, and really, really thank you guys for sticking with us. We've gotten a lot of great emails and comments and stuff, and you guys are just amazing, and I'm so happy to be continuing to do this. So I will check you out on the next lesson. Thanks, guys.